All right. Hello, Independent. So I am really excited because last week I was traveling and I did not do a market stat on Friday. And I was thinking, I'm like, I've only done it twice. No one really cares. And I had 3 people message me and they said, hey, did I miss it? And I'm like, holy crap, that's really cool. So I'm excited. I'm going to go ahead and how do I work my life? I'm going to share a link in the comments down here. So that way, if you want to join me live, you can come into this Zoom that I'm live streaming here on our private group. And then if you have any questions, I will try to keep an eye out on the chat, but it's kind of hard for me to multitask. So if you come in, then I will see you and that makes it easy. So I just posted a link. Please click the link to join live and ask questions. Yes. I don't think there is a password. If there is, we will figure that out together. I can spell sometimes. I would say like 80% of the time. Some of you who know me well will probably say 60% of the time. That's okay. Okay, so the link is posted. I'm going to minimize this guy over so I can see if anyone comments. At least that's the goal, hopefully. Dun, dun, dun. And then I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So I'm also excited about doing this because the idea of doing these market analysis on a weekly basis, I was wondering, I'm like, is every week too often? Is there enough changes to have it be valuable or pertinent enough for information if it's on a weekly basis? And now, so we have week 1 and week 2. Like I said, week 3, I was out of town. That was last week. So we're coming into week 4. So I'm curious to know if our jump from week 2 to week 4 is as minimal as it is from 1 to 2. I also would love your feedback. So if you like weekly updates, whenever I'm done, I will come back to the video and I will post these screenshots that you're seeing here in the comments. It's working. The link doesn't work for me. Crap. Okay, let me try again. Participants. This is live, people. How do I do this? Oh, it's over here. Invite. I'm going to invite, please. There we go. Copy, link invitation. Let's try this one. Try this one here. Okay, hopefully that one will work. I believe if there was a password, it would have been market. I'm just going to type that down here just in case. And we'll go from there. But kudos to me because I'm actually paying attention to the chat. So if this doesn't connect, I will figure out how to fix it. Let me make sure no one's in my waiting room. How do I? Okay, right there. No one is. So I'll move this over here. Working, figuring it out. Okay, so if it does work, fantastic. We'll see you soon. If it doesn't work, stick around, stay in the comments, ask me your questions, and I'll keep an eye on it. And what I was saying before is for this week, I'll go ahead and I'll post all of the stats in the bottom. And again, if there's stats on here that you don't care about, let me know. If there's stats that aren't on here that you want to know about, let me know. All of this was just kind of like, I'm doing this anyways. I might as well do it a public way to educate those who are in our area that are interested. And my first time I did it, I was so scared because I was like, I have to deliver content quickly. I have to make sure that it's relevant. And it was an absolute train wreck. Like the video was so bad, I didn't even post it. And then the second time I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to do it however long it takes. If someone wants to watch and be a part of the whole thing, great. If not, they can always come back and see the stats after the fact. So here we are. I'm going to go ahead and we are going to duplicate these stats down here. We are going to update our information. So this is here on week 4. I'm going to hop over here and reply. Any luck? I'm sorry. Whoa, I did some short key that I don't want. Pin. I don't know what I'm doing here. You guys are probably like, Tanisha, it's not that hard. Okay. All right, so we are at week 4. Today is January 28th, and we'll see how many homes are on the market. So let's go ahead and open up our stats. So I am pulling everything from the utahrealestate.com. Let me put my phone on silent. I keep getting my my watch is vibrating for calls, and I'm like, can't concentrate. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna go to utahrealestate.com. I'm going to log in. As a licensed agent, what I can view and see is different from what you can view and see. And so the only thing that I am not going to be displaying is our sold values. So typically when I do these statistics, I am looking at 1, what things were listed for, and 2, what they actually sold for. Because Utah is a private state, the sold information is not publicly displayed. So I will be running our numbers based off of Utah that's listed, if that makes sense. Not ones that have actually sold. So we're going off of list price. But if you are interested and want to know these numbers because you're looking to take action to buy or sell, let me know, because I want to rerun them for you. So what we're going to do here is we are going to do a full residential search. So this is utahrealestate.com. This is one of the largest MLS listings for the state of Utah. It doesn't necessarily cover everywhere, and it doesn't mean that all homes that are for sale are listed here. But as of this moment in time, there's 1,945 homes that are. So out of those homes, I want to pull up a map and I want to look at our specific area. So I'm going to go ahead and outline with this handy dandy tool. And I'm going to come over to I-15. If you're local to the area, you know that's our main freeway. I'm going to come all the way up to Bangor. This is all commercial here, and can I back out? No, I can't zoom out. So I'm just going to cut this corner off. We're going to come down on Bangor all the way up to Redwood. We're going to come down Redwood Road, which isn't a major highway or freeway. Well, I guess it is 69 or 68, but it's a made road for us. So here, I don't like that. It didn't give me that whole area. So I'm going to try again. Here is our local area at the point. Now I can get all the things. I'm interested to watch this back to see if you can hear the fan on my computer, because it sounds like it's going to blow up. Okay, there we are. This is our local market. We have 7 active listings right now, which means 7 homes are actively for sale. And if we pull up our stats last time, we had active 4. So this was 2 weeks ago. Let's go here. I'm going to see if I can get creative with my screen space and not compromise all the things. Let's pull up this guy and we'll squish it over. Aha, beautiful. It's working. Okay, there we are. Look at that. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, we only had 4. With these listings, these are in the status of active. So I want to add, I don't know why my map is still there. Backup status, under contract, sold, off market, withdrawn, pretty much all of the things. We will close. Oh no, I lost my map. So now we're at 500 and something. Here we are. Hide map, view map. I want in my area. I think I broke it. We are going to start over. After this, you guys are gonna be like, I'm gonna go get my license because it's not that hard and I can do it better. And I would be like, you're probably right, because this is my 4th time doing this and we still haven't gotten very far. It's okay. Here we are at the point. And also, if you see me clicking and you're like, wait, my house is just over Redwood or just over I-15, or I'm on the other side, wherever, let me know. Because one, Brick by Brick is a real estate team, which means this is our region. I have 10 regional leaders all over the state of Utah. And so more than likely, I have someone who's doing this exact same thing in your area already. And if they're not, I would be more than happy to do it for you. Okay, so here are our listings. We're gonna go, oh, I think I know what I did. We're gonna go ahead and hide our map. It says there's too many to show. We're gonna go here and select all of our things. And I realize we're pulling all the way from the beginning of time, or not beginning of time, these dates here. And we just wanna go 30 days back. 29. That seems more manageable. So I'm gonna go ahead and view our results. Last time, 2 weeks ago, sold, wait. Hiding the information, taking the sold information off. Okay, save. Sorry, guys. List, okay, it's not there anymore. All right, let's see how our notes are going. I'm sorry, I don't know how to fix the link. I don't know why it's not working. If you send me your email singular, I can send it that way. Okay, give that a shot. All right, so these are our homes. We have 29. Let's go ahead and squish this guy over again. Last time we had 28. So really overall, even though there was a big jump in active, as far as total homes, this hasn't changed very much. So this is out of 29 homes that we're looking at. We're going 30 days back, starting from today's date. So this is the range we're doing. Last week, 2 weeks ago, we were on January 14th. We went 30 days back from there. And so I remember saying in this analysis that we were going to have 2 weeks of new information and lose 2 weeks of old information. Same thing applies, but we're going 3 now. So let's see what our differences are. So over here, I'm going to go ahead and filter by the status. So the status, I'll go through and tell you what each of them are. Did I break it? No, I didn't. I'll explain why there was more dots later. So right now, A is for active, which means these are active listings that are currently on our market. And right now we have 4. So that is the same. So before we were looking, we had 7, right? Also here, days on market, this will show us what's new to the area and how many days. So if I filter here, I can pull up this guy. This is a new listing. It just barely hit the market. If it's not already posted to our private feed, it will be today. This is a single family home here. And then within 1 day, so we have this guy here, which is a now under contract is the status. These townhomes, we also had this home listed yesterday, and that one's still active as well. So 1 day on the market. So that's kind of the main differences in active listings from last time to this time. So I'm going to go ahead and sort. And we have 4 here. Let me go back because I don't like that my map view had so many listings before and now it doesn't. Finding matches. Let's zoom in here. So here are our 29 listings. The ones in green are our active. The ones in yellow are under contract. The ones in red are canceled. The ones in blue are off market. Oh, I guess it has right here. Here's your legend. Dun, dun, dun. There you are. I'm not sure why there were so many. I'm curious. When we're done, I'm going to go back to the beginning of the video and pinpoint where those dots are. But for now, we're going to keep moving forward. So looking at our results, we have sorting by our status. out of 29 homes. There we are. We have 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is actually easier to do now than later. So I'm going to take this information. We're going to copy it. Oops, I didn't get it all. I have 2 screens, but I can only share one. So I'm trying to make it all fit on one, but this would be way more convenient on 2. That's okay. So we're going to take this guy. We're going to go over here. We're going to go to my Google Drive. We are going to open a new Excel spreadsheet. New. Por favor. Come on, little guy. Everything runs really slow with Zoom. But instead of going through and manually counting out each one, it'll be much easier to do it through Excel because it'll total and count everything for me. This is an investment of time. Google Sheets, got it. Here she is. Now I'm thinking, great, another thing to move around my screen and try to figure out. That's okay. So we're going to abandon the MLS for a second because I have all of the information here. 3, 2, 1, twinkle, magic. We're going to take this guy and we're going to add a filter to it. That way we can filter information. Beautiful. I don't need those, but that's okay. Okay, so out of our sold, watch this magic. I can highlight these and it will count them for me. You're like, yeah, that was way faster than counting to 10. Good job, Tunisia. That's okay. So we have 10 sold properties. So that has not changed. We have 1 expired. So that's our 1. We have 1 off market. Withdrawn. I think that I would put that in there. So I would do 2. So let's update that guy. Please. Thank you. We have under contract. Let's go ahead and scroll down. So these are all homes. So I'm not filtering by single family, whether it was a townhome, any of that all together as one right now. We have 13 that are currently under contract. So let's go ahead and adjust this number. I'm like, whew, just wondering if I had pulled the same month. I'm like, all the numbers are the same. Silent panic inside. All as well. 4. Okay, 4 are active. We already know that. In backup, do we have any backup? We have none in backup position, which would make sense because those numbers have gone up. So we'll go 0. These numbers were the differences from last time to this time. I probably should color coordinate them because it's kind of hard to tell what is what. Note to self later. But for now, we're just going to keep adding to the chaos. And we will take 2 homes, which are these guys here, out of the 29 that we have on the market. That point puts us at a 0.6. You're like, yeah, Tunisia double the decimal. I'm getting there just a little bit slow. Next one for active, that one's the same. It's going to be within that range, right? 4 divided by 29 homes on the market. We're at 0.13. So I'm just going to change this guy. So this top number was week 1. I'm just going to delete it now. You guys can scroll up and look at the side by sides. Maybe since it's the end of the month, I'll just post them all together. Let me know what you think. Sold were 10 out of 29 homes, which is 0.34. 34%. We'll get rid of this guy. And then with under contract, 0 and backup, we have 13 out of 29 homes, which is 0.44. So we're going to change this guy, and there we are. Okay, so this is our current market status for Independence at the Point, which is in Bluffdale, Utah. Knowing this, it's kind of like, why do I care? Looking in the rearview mirror and seeing what's going on gives you a really good indicator of what we can project for the future. So right now, if I were looking to sell my home, I'm going to think, okay, I have 4 active listings that may be competition to mine. Are these single family homes? Are they townhomes? What is my home, right? So knowing that's going to be important to you. Also, these under contract are a very good indicator of what's going on and what you can project for your home. For example, if one of these homes was listed, our days on market, let's find that screen. Where are we? Here, over here. I found it. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so let's say I want to look at these under contract homes here, right? And then I look over here on days on market. And I think, oh, wow, my house is identical to this. I have a buy level split entry. This home was on market for 8 days before it went under contract. Is that a long time? Is that a little time? What about comparison to this one, which is a Rambler, which was on the market for 25 days for when it was under contract? What were they both listed for? What were their market values, so on and so forth. So knowing what is on the market is important in knowing kind of what's going on for your future goals based off of what is currently going on in our area. So moving on over here, this was week 1. We still had 29 homes. Coming down, we're gonna go ahead and duplicate. Oh, I did not change that. Week 2 type of homes. Nope, I'm just scrolling too fast. And let's see our home types. So let's see what we are looking at. We are on week 4 here. We have 29 homes that we're evaluating. We are on January 28th. Perfect. Okay, so over here, this is matching this information, but this will count it for me. So we're going to skip over. We are going to filter by the style of home, which will give us an idea of what is on the market that we're looking at right now. So 2-story homes, that is going to be right here for 2-story. We have 10 homes that are currently 2-story homes in the market. We have Ramblers, we just have 1. So we're back up here. We have a split entry or buy level at 1. We have townhouse. So I separated townhouses into 2 different categories. One is the row end, which would be the end. So townhome usually have 4. You have 2 in the middle and then 2 on the outsides. So for the end units, we have 5. And for the middle ones, and again, why do I care? Well, depending on what your unit is, whether it's inside or outside, is going to dictate the value. Typically, an outside unit will sell for $8,000 to $15,000 more than a middle unit. Those reasons include, 1, you have more windows because you're going to be on an outside of the home, whereas a middle unit, you're not going to have access to the sunlight on the right or left. You also have more privacy. You're only sharing a wall with 1 neighbor instead of 2. Typically those floor plans are bigger. They can pull out the footprint a little bit more. Also, those floor plans usually can be more desirable. A lot of your open to below units are going to be on an end unit. So knowing, again, if you're looking to sell or if you are selling or if you're on market, what else is available is going to help you know kind of what the demand is going to be for your place. So we have all of our numbers here. We had 29 homes. Was it 28 homes? Did we switch that? What was week 1? That one doesn't say it. 29. Okay, sweet. So my stats are going to be the same for these 2. Nope, we went from 0. So this is going to be 0.3. We changed this at 10. So we're going to take out of 10 homes out of 29 total. That's 0.34. So this shot up quite a bit. 34% of our homes are 2-story homes in our neighborhood. With our end unit, we're at 5 out of 29 homes, which is 0.17. So that took a big dip. So if you're an end unit now, well, not huge, I mean 0.17, 17 to 21, but it still helps. So if you're an end unit and you're looking to sell, that's a good thing for you. There's less options going out. For our middle unit, which is our highest percentage typically for our area, 12, and it's going to get way higher. Have you guys seen Lennar, right? All of the new construction. We also have, what's their name? Not Countrywood. Oh my goodness, my brain is lapsing. I'm like thinking of their logo. It's green down the hill. It'll come to me later. They've almost finished out all their townhomes. We have a ton of townhomes in our area. 12 divided by 29 homes, that puts us at 0.41. The lowest, I think the lowest it's ever been. I think the other 2 weeks we've been over 50, 53, and at the beginning of the month, no, 48. So our range isn't changing terribly, but there we are there. So now before I mentioned kind of smashing this information on looking at, what's available on the market, and then also how long has it been on the market for. And so that's going to be our days on market. And this I can see is confusing. I will maybe clean it up a little bit. This month, it's the same month, this week. So we're at week 4. You're like, can you do this after? No, I don't want to. Let me do it right now. Sorry, 28. Okay, days on market. So let's filter. So there's 2 different numbers I want you to pay attention to. Let me pull up a house that's under contract, okay? This house, that's a bad example. This one. Okay, this is better. So this status right here, you can see is under contract. This is the list price. Well, the original list price. It's dropped down. So the list price now is displayed at $770. That does not mean that's what it's under contract for. We will not know what the under contract price is at this point unless if we call the agent or the sellers directly, or once it's actually closed, which means it will be public, not to you, but to me, so you can ask me and I'll tell you. So on that note, right here, you'll see these DOMs. That's your days on market, right? And it's counting them. So what this says is this is the entry date of when the house hit the market. This is the date that it went under contract. So the days on market before it went under contract, so this is your contract time for days on market, was 13 days. So this home was in an active status for 13 days before it changed to an under contract status. So it's been on the market for a total of 25 days, but not available. Does that make sense? So when I'm looking here on days on market, which is right here, this is going off of the number that the listing was in an active status for. So the days on market that it's been existing on the MLS are probably higher than what these numbers are. This is just telling us how much time did it take before the house actually went under contract. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and filter. Ooh, this is going to get messy. Okay. I need a double filter because I want to only look at ones that are under contract. Let's sort these guys, A to Z. I'm looking at under contract ones here. So, I have an idea. Yes, okay. I'm going to duplicate this guy. Thank you much. We're going to take all of these. Nope, that's only selecting one. Thank you. And we are going to delete them. Bye-bye. And then we're going to filter these guys over here. So these are now all under contract numbers. Where's my days on market? That's going to be this column here. Yes. Okay. So we have under contract status. These are all the different home types here. Oh, dang it. I separated it for both. Okay, so we're going to add a row above. We're going to add a filter. We're going to filter now by house type. There we are. And we're going to come over here. So out of our 2-story ramblers and split entry, these are single family homes. That's this number, SF. Our days on market, we want an average. So I'm going to go equals an average of these numbers. Okay. And we're at 31. So that is going to be, I've changed the way I've done this every time. So I don't know how this compares to the one before. I think last time what I did is I would take out these outliers. This one here could have been like a new construction project, but as you can see, it's drastically different from the rest. So if I pull that number out, I dropped to 15. I think that's what I did last time. I don't know. You'd have to go back and see. But so we're going to have 15 here was without the outlier, and then 34 is with it. This is for single family house for our average. And then if I take our numbers and we pull H9 down to 14, that is going to give us here for our townhomes. There we go, TH. Again, there's that outlier, but we'll keep it initially. And that would put this number here at 29. I'm gaining confidence that that's what I did last time, but it was 2 weeks ago and I don't really remember. And I'm going to delete it now. And that's going to, nope, I don't know what I did last time. Maybe not. 5.6, sure. No, it makes it ugly. We're just going to say 5. 5 days on market. Should we round up? 6? Sure, talk me into it. Okay. So this is out of 28 homes. Here's today. We're going 30 days back. This is the average for our maximum. I just deleted them. Control Z. We are at 146. So let's put that over here. 146. And then outside of these massive numbers, we're at 45. So go ahead and put that in here. So I guess the parentheses, whoa, getting crazy. In parentheses are kind of what I would say it would be. Oh my gosh, I'm getting really good at that. It's this guy here. Make this bigger. I can't get away from it. There we go. What was my number? You guys remember? Here's my calculator. Oh, it's not a calculation. It's over here. We're 45. There we go. 45. Okay, so that is our days on market. Why this is important to know. So if you, I've seen this so many times. So I know our market really well. I'm pulling stats on a consistent basis. I will see a new listing listed by an outside agent who's not local to this area, and they will either be too high or too low or too something. And I can see the panic here. So just like that home, let's pull it up here, that had the price drop, right? So let's say, and I'm just giving a hypothetical, I'm not saying that this is what happened for this home, but let's say the average days on market for this home or for this price point, because at this price point, you're typically going to be on market for 2 to 3 weeks before you go under contract. If not longer. Once you're on the million mark, you're probably going up to a month. Anyway, so there's a different expectation depending on your price point as well as a number of other factors. But let's say this homeowner was hearing that the market's on fire, everything should get under contract, everyone that they hear of is under contract here within these 3 or 4 days, yada, yada. And so they panic and they price drop to have a strategy to maybe get more buyers or create competition or for whatever reason. And now they're under contract. So they're like, great, we're under contract. For me, some of the times I'm looking at these numbers and I say, hey, by the way, you are still within that window of what's average for your price point for this area of being under contract. So instead of panicking by week 2 and thinking, oh my gosh, we need a price drop, we need to do something, we can sit in our comfort zone and have an extra 30,000 that we're able to get under contract just by knowing what the market looks like. So again, that wasn't a specific situation, but in general, knowing the average time on market for properties that are similar to yours is going to help keep you off of an emotional roller coaster that you will not want to ride. So for our area here, for single families, it's about 6 days. That's very quick. For townhomes, we're at 15. Nope, I switched them. Townhomes, 6, single family, 15. Read the numbers here. Don't listen to what I'm saying. Okay, so that is going to be everything as far as days on market goes. And now we're going to jump over to home values. So this is very, very important. Once a quarter, Utah Real Estate puts out stats. I repost them in our group. I don't know if I have one active that I could scroll to, and everything's slow through Zoom. But it will say our state average. That number can be very misleading. For example, look at these 2 numbers. These are both single family homes. These are not the entire state. This is just looking at the point in general. If I were to average both of these, this number in the middle would be very off for anyone in this situation or this situation because it's averaging too big of a span. So on this, I have separated into 4 different groups. So we have townhomes on the bottom, single family on the top, and the square footage is here because of the size of your home is going to translate to the cost and worth of your home. So if we're looking at homes that are comparable to ours, we should not be basing them off of these numbers if our house is under 4,000 square feet. And same for the reverse, right? Townhomes, the discrepancy you're going to see is a little bit smaller. Also, like we had mentioned, you have the end units discrepancies, right? But typically your end units here have the larger square footage. So most of the time they're going to be in this number, but that's not an end all be all. But I want you to get a good idea of why it's important to separate it out so that way your numbers are more accurate. So we're going to come over here. We've got 2 sheets, but this is where most people want to know what is going on. So thanks for sticking around. We're on week 4. We have 29 homes. Am I doing? Yes, because we're doing it off of listed. 29 homes, and today is the 28th. And let's look what we have here. So we're going to go back to this spreadsheet that I have not deleted half of it. Please, there we go. We are going to filter by our, what do you call it? Style of home. There we go. A to Z. And then I'm going to add, ooh, I might break it. That's okay. I'm gonna add a row above here so I can separate my townhomes. Beautiful. I'm going to take off, I don't know if I did this last time. No, we'll leave them. We're gonna leave all the information on. I'm going to take off my filters. And then we'll add them back here. Okay, so now I can filter information separately. So this top category are all of our single family homes. So I'm going to come over here. And this is the square footage right here. We're going to filter by square feet. So this is going to pull all of ours. And we want to know ones that are up to 4,000. So we're going to go up to this mark here. So we want to know, I don't even know, my brain is mush now. What do we want to know? We want to know the home value. Okay, average home value. So again, these numbers are very off because just because a home is listed for this price does not mean it's sold for that price. When you're looking at home evaluations, you need to only consider sold information. The reason why I'm doing it off of lists is because I can publicly display this to you. This next slide, I'm going to tell you what things have actually sold for. And I'm going to pull my screen over. I'm going to add sold back. So that way I can keep my license, which I would like to do. And I will give you a general idea of what this looks like. But if you are actively looking to buy or sell, these numbers are not going to be the most accurate. We did it. Admit. Yay. Okay. So keep that in mind as we're crunching numbers. Hey, Alex, nice to see you, dude.
Hi, Tanisha.
All right. Do you have any questions hopping in, or are you just coming along for the ride?
I'm hopping in for the ride right now.
Okay. Sounds good. If you have questions, let me know. So we're going to jump right into home values. So we've got on this top half our single family homes. We want to know, this is going to be an average. So if we have our average equation and we're going to pull our list prices down to, well, I messed up my screen, all the way down to here because we want under 4,000 square feet. So I need one more, 12. Perfect. So that number has dropped a lot. We were at 670 before, and we're at 648. 48, 378. And then for over, we only have 3. So let's pull that average is going to be right here. And that one has dropped as well. So we're at 993 to 67. And then on here, if we come over, I'm just pulling an average square foot. price per square foot, which is going to be in, where did they go? Oh, right here, this column here. So if I move this over, that's going to give me the same range for the same area. So if I come and click here, it's pulling these averages, we're at 191. So it's gone down about $5 per square foot on average for homes that are over 400,000 square feet. And for those that are under 400 or 4,000 square feet, we are at $265. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna hop down here. We are going to add a filterable row here. Remove and add. There we go. So we're looking at townhomes. Oops. Undo. We need this column. There we go. Yes, okay. I can get rid of that guy because that's confusing. All right, so we're looking at townhomes. We need a filter by the size. Let me make my life a little bit easier and move this closer. Okay. So we're looking at ones that are under 2,000 square feet, which is here. So if we go equal, we want the average of all of these numbers down to 2,000. So I mean, if you're here skirting on this number, you can kind of do a judgment call on what makes the most sense. Also, numbers are not the only thing in consideration. We also want to know what the inside of the house looks like, what the year was built. Year doesn't weigh as much in our community just because most things have been built at the same time and our community is still fairly new. So it's not like we have a long track record with different pockets. We do when you're considering independence at the point to Perry Farms or Sage Estates or the other different communities within at the point. But as a whole, most of the homes statistically have been here the longest. So we'll go ahead, or have not been here that long. There we go. All right, so we've got this average. We're gonna pull this over so we can get both. This is for homes under 2,000 square feet. So we have gone up $2 for the price per square foot for townhomes. The overall price has gone up just a couple $100, it looks like. Also keep in mind, this is off of what homes are listed for. That does not mean that's what they sold for. So if I'm doing these numbers for a client, I am not basing it off of this, but it gives you still a good example. Last month, just looking at it, we had 50% of our homes sell at list price. So that means 50% of homes would be right on point with what this looks like. But we also had about 22, so maybe 30% of homes that were within 5,000. So that's not terrible. I feel like if you apply that range here, that's not going to make a drastic difference. And then we had one up top and two that were kind of, I would say, outliers at this point because our main percentage is here in the bulk. But it still is going to factor on your unique listing, because if this home, for whatever reasons, it was price dropped, I mean, it could have been over list price. This house could have sold for the same amount as this house sold, but was just listed too high initially. So there's more that goes into it with the numbers. We can always dive deeper, but this gives you a general idea. So let's go ahead and do the same thing for our homes over 2,000 square feet. And we will pull this number here and copy it over. So on this front, for homes over 2,000 square feet, we have also gone up. So we're at 199, and this price averaging all of the list prices has gone down slightly, 942. So in general, a lot of people are wondering, going into this new year, what are things going to look like? What is the market going to do? Is is something going to burst? Is there a bubble? All of the things. Statistically talking, based off of what information we have on a state level, we're more than likely going to see a very similar year this year as we did last year. Reason being, we're still in a housing deficit, which means there's not enough homes to fill demand. So there's still demand on homes, which is going to drive the price up. There is definitely a lot more certainty in the market in the sense of with COVID and the impacts on new construction, building materials, and things of that nature. It's not new news. And so we've kind of adapted. A lot of people are more comfortable now. And so I would fully anticipate these numbers to continue to climb. Obviously, with an outside force, or if something happens that's going to drastically impact us as a community, we're going to see it within the housing market. If you look at any graph, it's always going to be going up and down based off of those outside forces. But in general, it's going to continue with that upward trajectory. Okay, so let's jump into the fun part. I'm going to come back to Utah real estate right here. I'm going to refine my view, change my column display. We're going to put sold. Where are you? Right here, back. And then I'm going to move this to my other screen, sorry, and save my changes. Okay, so on this here, I'm also going to need a spreadsheet. So we're going to add a new blank slate. On these numbers here, I am only looking at sold information. So I'm going to go back on my search. I'm going to only filter ones that have sold, because that's the only homes that are going to be applicable to this analysis that we're doing. We're going to go ahead and duplicate this out. Please and thank you. Today we are in week 4. It is January 28th. No button. Let's see how many sold homes we're looking at. We have, let's not break anything, 10 homes. So that's still the same. The kid gets out in 10 minutes. Good thing we're wrapping this up. 10 homes, so that stays the same. The only thing that is changing is our dates, because it is now the 28th. Okay, so still 10 homes that have sold. Let's see what things look like now versus 2 weeks ago. I'm going to be comparing the list price with what the sold price is. Let me make my life a little bit easier and put them side by side. List, sold, beautiful, save. Okay. On this, I'm also not separating out single family versus townhome versus whatever. It's all in general. Okay. So if I filter this from lowest to highest, I don't know why, just because it sounds like a good idea. Let me copy my content on my spreadsheet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to calculate the difference from one column to another. I lost my spreadsheet. There it is. Okay, paste. Perfect. We're going to go ahead and add a column to the right. We're going to equal what it was listed for, subtracted what it actually sold for, which will give us our difference, and calculate it down. Okay, so we have, let's go ahead and filter those options so I can sandwich them together. So I'm going to go from lowest to highest, meaning that if the number is low, it's sold more than what it was listed for. Okay, so I have here one home that sold, and it is our max. Yep. And it sold for $10,000 over what it was listed for. This home specifically was, I want to know how many days on market it was. 161. That home was on market for 4 days. So 4 days is really quick. Typically, I bet this was listed on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, went under over a weekend. A lot of times you'll see open houses. So this to me is kind of like a same day list. So in my mind, in order to go $10,000 over list price, it means that there was a lot of demand on the property, probably multiple offers, and it escalated it up. We have one that sold for 3,000. So that would put it in this one here, this area for 1 to 5,000. One at $100 over, which to me is going to put us right here at list price. That's not a significant difference enough to bump it here. And then we have 2 others that sold for exactly what they listed for. On those ones, I'm curious, 20 and 97. On those ones, 20. That one was listed on market for 12 days. And the other one was listed on 3. Both of those were townhomes. Yes. 97. Townhome. Yep. Okay. Just food for thought. Coming back. Sorry, I keep losing my screens. Okay, where are my stats? Go away. Did I close it? There they are. Okay, so that is coming this way. So at list price, we're going to update this to 3. Selling for under. Now this has changed quite a bit. This would load quicker. I accidentally clicked a link that took me somewhere I didn't want to go. Okay, so our list price here, there we are. We have one that sold within this range. It was $4,049 under what it was listed for. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 homes. Is that how you count? I don't have to count. I have it on a spreadsheet. That makes my life easy. Yes. So we have 4 homes here that sold for under. So quite a bit. So a lot of times what happens in our market is it's consistently fluctuating, right? And so as the market shifts, if your home is already listed and you're experiencing that shift, you're going to have to adapt to it. 3 of these homes were sold for $10,000 under list. The maximum under list price is $64,900. And that's pretty much it. So I have a total of 6 minutes before I have to run off and go pick up my kid from school. I have the chat up. Alex, do you have any questions? Any feedback? Anything of interest?
Can you hear me, Tanisha?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so I have 2 questions.
Okay.
So the first, for like homes that, like the value of the homes.
Okay.
Can you tell me a little bit more? Like, does that, like, does a full basement, like a full finished basement, count? Like, does it increase the value of it?
Yeah.
Rather than the not finished one. And my second question would be, does this apply also to townhomes?
Yes, it's going to apply to both. The amount of increase is going to dictate on your square footage level. So whenever you're looking at an appraisal value or what your home is worth, the above ground square footage is calculated as a higher amount than below ground square footage. But if you have a finished basement, then yes, it is going to help contribute towards your overall value. Now, you get a little bit tricky here in Utah because, again, we're in a housing deficit. So a lot of people are willing to pay over even if the basement's unfinished, right? So before it would be okay if I spent 30 grand on my basement, I can anticipate, 20 grand of that going towards the value. Now apply that in COVID where building materials were through the roof. I was telling a lot of my clients at that point, I'm like, don't finish your basement because you're not going to get the money back out on the resale because it costs way too much. So there's a little bit more digging that you'll need to do. So when I'm running these numbers, I'm looking at everything from a whole and I'm averaging townhomes all as equals. if I were doing one for a unique situation to answer your question, I would pull all of the townhomes or all the single family, and I would split the two, and I would say, okay, which ones have finished basements, which ones are unfinished. And also, whenever I do what's called a CMA or a comparative market analysis, I have a system that's going to calculate, okay, this home does have a finished basement, or this house has one more bedroom or one more garage, and it's going to assign a dollar amount for what those discrepancies look like to give you a good idea of what your evaluation is. So to answer your question, yes, it does have a factor. As far as the numbers that we're looking at, it doesn't illustrate it. Can we get a closer idea? Absolutely. And I would be happy to look at the numbers with you.
Cool, that answered my question. Thanks, Nithya.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't think anyone's in our comments right now. Thanks, Alex, for coming out. I will go ahead and post these stats, and then maybe I'll do a couple surveys, because if there's information like that that you brought up in the sense of how much is my basement worth and people want to know about it, I'm more than happy to do analysis jumping into that specifically.
Yeah, that goes well, because I mean, there's a lot of other people that coming in from other states.
Definitely.
You know, they want to know the value, right? What is in it for me, if on the long run, not down short term.
Absolutely. No, I agree completely. Okay. Well, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for stepping in, and we'll see you around.